The $50 million Pulisic bombshell. What every headline got wrong. New York City FC just made a run at Christian Pulisic, the biggest American soccer star of his generation. AC Milan slammed the door. And the $50 million number tearing across your feed right now, it was never actually offered to Milan. June 24th, 2026. La Gazzetta dello Sport drops the headline, Milan on alert, Pulisic tempted by massive New York offer. The story is everywhere within hours, but here's the line that matters. Read it twice if you have to. The 50 million number splashed across social media isn't a transfer fee. It's a 5-year contract package for Christian Pulisic himself. Not a cent of that is an offer to AC Milan. No club-to-club bid, no cash on the table for a transfer, just a personal deal, roughly $11 million per year, dangled in front of the most famous American player in Europe. La Gazzetta spells it out, 50 million euros over 5 years, that is 10 million euros per season. The word they use is tempted. That's the emotional hinge. The number is attached to the player, not to Milan's bank account. This is the whole story compressed into one sentence. NYCFC made a run at Pulisic. Milan rejected the approach, and the 50 million figure was never a transfer offer. The headlines blurred it, the reporting did not. Milan never saw a formal bid. That's not a technicality, it's the difference between a club picking up the phone and a club wiring 50 million euros. In transfer language, an inquiry is the first knock at the door. It's a call, a question. Is your player available? Milan's answer was immediate and public. No, he's not. No terms discussed, no numbers exchanged. The Italian side described NYCFC's move as a low-level approach, not a negotiation. Headlines collapsed the stages. Inquiry became offer, offer became bid, and suddenly the story ballooned. But at no point did NYCFC put a transfer fee on the table. Milan shut the conversation down before any price could even be named. That's not just semantics, it's the entire procedure of how deals rise and die. The rumor grew because the language got flattened. Sit with that timeline, the difference is everything. June 25th, 2026, ESPN steps in to confirm what's already swirling. Milan rejected NYCFC's approach. Not a transfer negotiation, not a fee, just a flat denial. The player isn't available. Read that again. ESPN's language is surgical. No number, no terms, just a wall. Tom Boggart on CBS Sports Golazo backs it up. Milan's answer is no, and the 50 million euro figure is a contract, not a transfer. The rumor cycle keeps spinning, but the facts don't budge. One day later, June 26th, Milan's boardroom gets a new boss. Massimo Calvelli is named CEO, replacing Giorgio Furlani. The press release is blunt. Calvelli's job is to restore a winning culture. This isn't just a swap at the top. Milan's entire sporting structure is in flux. Sporting director, manager, technical director, all touched by the reset. The timing is no accident. With Pulisic's future in the headlines, Milan moves to project stability, closing ranks around their most marketable asset. The message is clear. Control the narrative, control the player. Etihad Park is more than a stadium announcement, it's a declaration. Opening in 2027 at Willets Point, right across from Citi Field, the $780 million project will be the first soccer-only venue in New York City history. 25,000 seats, all privately financed, and a 20-year naming rights deal with Etihad Airways already locked in. This isn't about catching up to the league, it's about reimagining what NYCFC can be. ESPN flagged the new stadium as a revenue engine, a launch pad for bigger signings, and a shot at global relevance. The timing is no accident. The club wants a face for this era, someone who can fill every seat, every weekend, and put the brand on the map. Christian Pulisic isn't just the best American player of his generation. He's the only name that fits the moment. The rumor wasn't random. It was strategy. Stadium, revenue, and ambition, all converging on one question. Could NYCFC land the defining American star for the opening of Etihad Park? Stack the numbers. NYCFC's biggest inbound transfer is $9.3 million for Nicolas Fernandez. That's the ceiling so far. Now look at Pulisic's market value. Transfermarkt pins it at 50 million euros, or about $54 million. That's not a salary, not a rumor. Just the price tag Milan would expect to even start a conversation. The gap is a canyon, not just for NYCFC, but for the entire league. The current MLS record for a transfer fee is Son Heung-Min to LAFC at roughly $26 million. For NYCFC to land Pulisic, they would have to triple their own club record and double the league benchmark. No MLS team has even sniffed numbers like that for an incoming player. This isn't a stretch, it's a leap into a different financial universe. The numbers don't just look big, they redraw the map of what's possible. That's the wall any American club faces when Europe's valuation meets MLS precedent. No matter how ambitious the pitch, the math is brutal. The rumor doesn't just test the market, it exposes its limits. Strip away the club badges and look at the wiring. New York City FC is not just a New York soccer team, it's an outpost of City Football Group, the same empire that owns Manchester City, Melbourne City, and a string of clubs from Yokohama to Montevideo. Their bankroll? Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth and Silver Lake's tech billions. On the other side, AC Milan, now run by RedBird Capital Partners, with Jerry Cardinale calling the shots. This isn't a David and Goliath story. It's two financial superpowers circling the same asset, each with their own playbook. But the real tension sits beneath the headlines. Milan's internal renewal offer for Pulisic is about 5 million euros per season, half of what New York City FC's package would pay him. That number isn't public posturing, it's leverage. Milan projects confidence, declaring Pulisic untouchable, but privately, their wage ceiling is far below the market noise. The gap between what they'll pay and what's rumored gives both sides something to work with. Jerry Cardinale's mandate is clear: retain value, don't blink. Massimo Calvelli's new regime is built for control. Meanwhile, Pulisic's agent is quietly testing the waters with Champions League clubs, keeping Milan honest. The rumor isn't just about a salary or a stadium. It's a contest of leverage, ownership groups, contract numbers, and the silent negotiations that shape where the biggest American name in soccer plays next. June 19th, Seattle. The United States beats Australia 2-0. Pulisic stands in front of the Lumen Field crowd and belts out "Take Me Home, Country Roads." That clip rockets through Instagram and TikTok within minutes. La Gazzetta grabs it, framing the song as a homecoming anthem, NYCFC as the promised land, Pulisic as the prodigal son. Even the FIFA playlist, curated by Amy Hopfinger, features the track. Tyler Adams calls it the soundtrack of American soccer. But that's the media script. The player script sounds nothing like it. Sources tell ESPN Pulisic is locked on the World Cup, not transfer drama. June 30th, after the Turkey match, he says he feels great and is ready to go. In March, he told his club he doesn't talk to his agent about moves. And back in November, he mentioned someday spending years in the United States, but not now. The headlines chase symbols. Pulisic keeps his answers on the pitch. For American fans, this rumor cuts deeper than tabloid noise. Landon Donovan's move to MLS changed the league's profile overnight. Pulisic, at 27, would do more. A prime-age transfer isn't just a homecoming. It's a referendum on whether MLS is still a stepping stone or finally a destination. Milan's own supporters are split. Some want to cash in. Others see Pulisic as central to any rebuild after missing the Champions League for the second straight year and finishing fifth. The numbers matter: 8 goals and 4 assists in 30 appearances, despite his lowest start count at Milan. Stack that on top of 31 Serie A goals in 100 matches, and the milestone 59 goals in Europe's top 5 leagues, now ahead of Clint Dempsey. The rumor isn't just about a contract. It's about what it means for MLS, for Milan's ambitions, and for the first American to break through at this level. This story is a test of what's possible and who gets to define the future. Christian Pulisic's contract with Milan runs through June 2027, with a club option that stretches it to summer 2028. That's the clock everyone is watching. ESPN spells it out. If Milan doesn't move now, the leverage flips. Wait a year and the player's value drops, both on the books and in the market. Tom Boggart flags the other threat. If Milan softens, NYCFC won't be alone. Other MLS teams are circling, ready to pounce if the door cracks open. The World Cup knockout rounds collide with the summer transfer window. Every match Pulisic plays, the pressure ratchets up, not just for Milan, but for every club with a stake in his next move. The real game is about timing, leverage, and who takes control before the clock runs out. This is the whole story compressed into one sentence. No 50 million transfer bid, just a contract number misread as a headline. Sit with the timeline. In 2026, media framing moves markets and careers. The stakes? Who controls the next move, Milan, NYCFC, or Pulisic himself? Drop your take below.